We are Marc, Amy, Juliette and Clement from the medieval Chateau de Rosieres. This Christmas we've made you a very special advent calendar. Every day from the 1st to the 25th of December we will open the door to a different room in the chateau and introduce you to its past, present and future. Merry Christmas.
Hello everybody, this is Amy and Marc from Chateau de Rosieres. Today we are going to show you... What are we going to show you?
The laundry room.
Ah, that's it.
It's not the laundry room that's outside that we showed you in how to do laundry in a medieval chateau video. It's our indoor laundry room, and I think a lot of people have been wondering if we have a space like this. And although it's not going to be permanently used as that, it currently houses all of our linens, duvets, pillowcases, children's clothes. It's where we do all the ironing.
Well, basically all the clean
Yeah.
laundry.
But I think the thing is that in a place like this, you end up with, when we've, even now, before everything's restored, we have a huge number of beds and bedrooms. And so what we do is when we go to clearance auctions and when we go to brocants and things, we tend to buy stacks of antique linens, and we need somewhere to keep them and also to process them because they take quite a lot of effort to wash, dry and iron.
This room was originally a bedroom. When we arrived, the floor was covered with a beautiful, how would you describe it?
It was kind of 1960s, very thin, vinyl-y type 70s floor that you might find in an institution.
Yeah.
It was sort of orangey brown, very, very low quality and stuck down very, very hard onto a beautiful parquet floor.
And very brown coloured and well...
Didn't we used to refer to this as the sick room, as in it looks like sick?
Yeah, a little bit. It was basically a colour that doesn't exist.
Oh, I think there's still some in the bottom of that wardrobe. We can show them.
Yeah. And in the corner, there was a little piece of lino, grey lino, with the bidet, a sink, and that was it really.
Yeah, that was it. We used to call it the bidet room as well, because it's a bit weird having, I mean, I know there's a trend these days of having a bath in your bedroom, but this was a bidet in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Not a toilet, just a bidet.
Or a bath for very tiny people.
Just sit inside your bidet.
What we uncovered when we removed the beautiful carpet is an actually beautiful parquet flooring made of sweet chestnut wood with the, how do you call it, point de Hongrie, so it's a chevron parquet, and it was genuinely beautiful. And the problem is that the carpet had been glued with very solid,
Very solid carpet glue.
Carpet glue. And I've managed to remove some of it, but there's still a lot of work before we can get the floor back. And we might do some work in the future, which will mean that we'll move one of the partitions, which is a 1970s partition, and which means we will need to extend this parquet flooring a little bit. So we are actually waiting to do we're not working on it because we're waiting to do the heavier work before we clean up everything and redo it properly.
One of the things we uncovered when we took up the carpet was something that actually shows a bit of what the room might have been like before it was converted into sick carpet bidet madness. What we saw here was that the parquet flooring had been interrupted by more recent wood that indicates that this could have been an alcove room like the old maid's room that we spoke to you about before. And that means it would have been configured so you'd come in the door, walk up a little mini corridor and then be in this room as a whole, and the bed would be recessed here. And that's potentially what it was like before it was reconfigured. And it's also something we're considering for when we restore this room and bring it back to use. On the other hand, there is a beautiful fireplace there, and the room lends itself a little bit to being symmetrical with that, which might mean we'd be able to close off this part and put a bathroom in unobtrusively. There's a lot of options because it's been messed around a lot in the past. We are actually a little bit more free to do what we want with it, and especially with respect to the partitions that divide it from a bathroom and our bedroom and other parts of this floor, which are infinitely movable compared to some of the walls in the chateau.
One of our nice finds for this room was the wardrobe behind me. I got this from a friend of ours who's a brocanteur, and when I saw it first, it was in his warehouse, completely disassembled, and I actually only saw the doors. But the doors reminded me of the beautiful cupboard we have on the top floor. It's exactly the same time period, same kind of geographic area, and I thought it would be perfect for storing linen. It is the kind of wardrobe you can find quite often in brocants in France, because it is so massive that nobody is able to fit that in their own house. To give you an idea of the scale, that's it. It is so big that if we ever run out of bed space, we'll be able to accommodate a few more people.
It is pretty comfortable, actually, I have to say.
One of the things I liked the most about that wardrobe was the ironwork, which is really fantastic, with its original key. That's a key from the first half of the 18th century, which really matches the style of the wardrobe. And the lock itself is made so that it locks the top, the middle, and the bottom of the wardrobe at the same time. So it was an extremely modern lock for the time.
I can attest to the fact that it was impossible for me to get out from the inside. The only issue we have with this now is that in order to get it into the room, it was obviously, and to transport it, it was dismantled. And once it was in the room, it took Marc and my brother and 2 other people half a day to put up.
3 other people.
3 other people, there were 5 of them. It took them that half a day to put it up. And so Marc is now flat out refusing to ever have this leave the room.
Well, actually, the first thing Amy told me after we assembled it was where we'll put it eventually.
Yeah, but we might be breaking down a wall, so then we can get it out more easily.
It might be simpler than disassembling it, actually. But in comparison, we have another wardrobe, almost the same size, that I assembled all by myself.
Not easily defeated, is Marc.
Yeah. And so now I think I have the technique, and it's actually like 18th century flat pack furniture. It's quite simple.
This is actually, of all of the rooms on the first floor, or if you're American, Canadian, second floor, this is the least finished, isn't it? This is the one in the worst state.
Yeah, a lot of the other rooms are pretty much in their original condition, and it's only very cosmetic work we have to do. This one, we want to change the partitions, which are quite modern and not very nice. We need to restore the floor,
it's gonna be a huge
which will
job.
be a big job. And yeah, so it will require quite a lot of work.
But it's quite a cosy room. It feels very quiet and a little dark, but I think it's going to have a very special character of its own that's quite unlike any other room in the chateau.
Yeah, I think it will be a really pleasant room to sleep in.
Well, thank you for joining us again today. We have made it a long way through December already, and we've got just about a week's worth of videos left for you to show you some other very exciting rooms. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because then you'll find out when the next video is up.
Bye everybody.
Bye bye.
Thank you. You okay in there?
Marc, you have to open both sides. And everyone just showing my legs.
That you had.